Why did medieval Europe's banks crash when one African king went on vacation? Because Mansa Musa understood something about wealth that they've spent 700 years trying to erase from your mind. In 1324, when Musa crossed the Sahara to Mecca, he didn't just carry gold, he carried a wealth strategy so devastating that it collapsed entire economies and created prosperity that lasted for generations. And you're about to discover how to use his exact blueprint in today's world. Musa ibn Chu ruled the Mali Empire from 1312 to 1337, controlling an area larger than Western Europe. But here's what they won't teach you in schools: his wealth wasn't luck. It was a system. 3 principles that turned Mali into the richest civilization on earth. The first principle: control the source, not just the supply. While European kings fought over trade routes, Musa owned the Bambuk and Bure goldfields. He didn't mine gold to sell it, he mined it to control it. When his caravan reached Cairo carrying 100 camel loads of gold, weighing over 4 tons, he wasn't showing off. He was executing a calculated economic strategy. He flooded Cairo's gold market so completely that gold prices crashed for 12 years. 12 years. That's generational economic disruption from one strategic move. But here's the genius you need to understand: Musa wasn't destroying value, he was transferring it. While gold became worthless in Cairo, salt remained precious in sub-Saharan Africa. His traders bought Egyptian goods with devalued gold, shipped them south, and sold them for premium salt, which they brought back north. This wasn't trade, this was economic warfare. And your ancestors mastered it before Europe knew what banking meant. The second principle will revolutionize how you think about investment: diversify your empire, not just your portfolio. Musa didn't put all his wealth in gold. He invested in infrastructure, mosques, universities, trade routes. The University of Sankore in Timbuktu housed 700,000 manuscripts and attracted scholars from Baghdad to Cordoba. Knowledge was his hedge against economic collapse. When you invest in education, property, and intellectual capital, you're following Musa's 700-year-old playbook. Today's application: stop chasing get-rich-quick schemes. Control assets that generate value: real estate, businesses, intellectual property. Amazon's Jeff Bezos understands this. Tesla's Elon Musk gets it. They control the source, distribution networks, manufacturing capacity, innovation pipelines. Just like Musa controlled goldfields. The third principle is the most powerful: create systems that work without you. When Musa left for Mecca in 1324, he was gone for 3 years. 3 years. His empire didn't just survive, it thrived. Because he built institutions, not dependencies. He established trade agreements, administrative systems, and succession plans that function independently. This is where most of us fail. We build jobs, not businesses. We create income, not wealth. We work in our businesses instead of on them. Musa's wealth strategy demands that you think like an emperor, not an employee. Your goal isn't to work harder, it's to build systems that generate wealth while you sleep. Modern wealth builders apply this through passive income streams: rental properties, dividend stocks, royalties, automated businesses. The principle remains unchanged since 1312: your time and your wealth must become independent variables. But here's what makes Musa's story truly revolutionary: he understood that wealth isn't just personal, it's communal. His hajj journey employed 60,000 people. His trade network supported millions. When Europeans arrived in Africa centuries later, they found established banking systems, credit networks, and commercial law that rivaled anything in medieval Europe. This wasn't accident, it was African financial innovation. The tragedy is how completely this knowledge was suppressed. Colonial powers needed you to believe that wealth and sophistication arrived with them. They needed you to forget that your ancestors built the world's richest civilization using principles that work today. So here's your choice: continue consuming content about wealth, or start implementing Musa's 3-principle system. Control your source, whether that's your skills, your business, or your investments. Diversify your empire across education, assets, and relationships. Build systems that generate value without requiring your constant presence. Musa's $50 billion fortune in today's money wasn't built on luck or colonial exploitation. It was built on strategy, systems, and the understanding that true wealth transcends individual prosperity, it transforms entire communities. You carry the DNA of empire builders. The question isn't whether you can build wealth, it's whether you're brave enough to think bigger than the limitations they taught you to accept. Follow Ponolens for the strategies they try to bury.